Malta has become a hub for international events, and Sigma stands out as one of the biggest drivers behind this growth. I'm Cyrielle Delmas, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with an expert on Malta's events industry and economic development. He is the Deputy President of the Malta Chamber of SMEs. Philip Fenech, welcome.
Hi.
Let's start with the basics. The events industry has shaped Malta's economy for many, many years. Most recently, what have you noticed as key changes in this industry?
Yes, our economy obviously has a lot of different segments, and this segment is a very, very important segment. And we've seen it being nurtured, it's growing beautifully, and it's creating a lot of value added to our economy. So we're looking after it, we're learning a lot from this segment, and we're even preparing our people to handle it even better from an educational point of view, so that human resources will not be as difficult to find as they are and have been.
And let's talk about international conferences like Sigma, Maltese companies founded by Maltese, that's drawing international recognition, attention abroad. How do you think these companies are important to the local economy?
Of course, these events are so important. You have to look at it from various angles. The first angle is the direct demand on our economy, in other words, from a fiscal point of view, what government is making from taxes, etc. Then it's also a main employment, as I was explaining, so it has opened as well another segment in education for our youths to start preparing themselves even to enter in this economy. But besides this, you have to see the multitude of jobs that have been created from professionals. You have lawyers, you have accountants, and then you have, from a business perspective, all the other small businesses that literally eat from this business in particular. You have all the IT providers, the technicians, the suppliers, and then also the personnel that are in Malta, the foreigners mainly, that use our leisure industry. In fact, we look at them as sort of permanent tourists or tourists coming and going. They're using our restaurants, our bars, our clubs, our boutiques, also real estate, renters, you can imagine. So it's extremely broad in this respect, the multiplier. So it is a segment that we're really looking after, and its scope for even growing further is there. We have seen the last conference, or the one before the last, that was held in Malta. It was a bit too big for the size of our island, and in fact it was split. Now we are encouraging as well to have a good expo venue that at the moment is being negotiated and is being expanded. And the idea is to be able to host a larger amount of people. We also had some hiccups when it came to traffic management, but the last conference that improved a lot. So obviously we're on a learning curve and we're learning all the time. So all in all, it's been a very good learning curve. The potential is enormous for this segment. And as I keep saying, you know, we want to look after it, we want it to grow, and mostly because it is increasing our value chain, something we are trying to do. Don't forget that this island is a very small island.
It is.
So although our economy is booming and our economy has grown from 7 billion to 24 billion.
The question is, can we sustain?
Exactly. Can we sustain? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to refine our segments. Now, this segment is an important segment because it isn't taxing on the environment like it is with other segments in our economy. So if we manage it well, and we are, as I said, we are learning all the time, it is one of those segments that will give a high value added chain, and the collateral damage is far minimum than other segments in our economy. So in my position, I am encouraging this segment to grow. for various reasons. One, as I said, from a government point of view, so that government's revenue will carry on stabilizing and even growing further. And two, because the distribution of wealth that this business gives keeps so many different types of businesses, mainly small and medium enterprises, sustainable as well.
And you mentioned the tourism and the hospitality sectors. How do you think they are impacted by all the international events that are happening on our island?
Oh, of course. I mean, the good news that I hear from all the hotels, one, because these conferences pay better rates, because they're here for a short time, and they also ask for the best services, so they're not looked at as an average tourist that comes here. You know, some come on a budget, or some don't come with the business hype that this industry brings. So obviously you have all the linkages besides the hotel, all the services, and the services that are asked from car hiring, everything, you know, all the events that are organized purposely for them. And these are very high profile events. They aren't events, you know, daily events. Just little parties. Yeah, I mean, we know a lot about all the champagne that's being popped and all the good food that is being ordered. So because these events come from a business background, they are not like the average tourist. So obviously the value added is enormous.
Mm-hmm. Events, in talking about the value of these conferences, a conference like Sigma brings a lot of opportunities for small and medium enterprises. In your opinion, how does it work? Why are these conferences so important for the smaller businesses locally?
I'm telling you, the moment they hear of a business, I feel the economy in real time moving, and I'll tell you why. When you have all the providers for the actual conference venue, you know, making up all those stages, all the setups, the lights, the design, the rental of the premises. Then you get all the taxis all ready to be able to mobilize people from the hotels, you see. Then you have all the food stores in the actual conference venue. The amount of people. Now we're only talking about the actual venue. Never mind all the rest that we mentioned as well before, the hotels and all the services that come along. So obviously there's always an excitement because this business also brings instant cash, and small businesses always have cash flow problems because their economies aren't very big that they can have an amount of cash that is always stored away like the big businesses. So they need to tick all the time. So when you get something like this, it gives them a tremendous good cash injection because, as I was saying, the spend is amongst the highest of the economic activities.
What kind of small and medium businesses are benefiting the most from an event like Sigma, in your opinion?
Well, as I mentioned before, all the designers that participate, and you have small and big, the lighting people, the sound people, the transport people, all the ones in catering, no less also certain historical places, because in the short time as well, you get some that go quickly and see some historical places.
And there are activities organized by Sigma.
Totally. All the activities that Sigma do and are already enough, as I say, vertically integrated within the whole conference. But then you have also the ones that like to free move. We see them, you know, gravitating the streets, especially in an area like Parcheville in particular, but not only. We see them moving from one place to another, you know, going to dine, clubbing as well. So in those 4 days, the intensity of this conference is such a win-win situation because they come here to learn, they come here to do business. Besides that, they come here to enjoy themselves. And in so doing, they take an experience with them, which they can carry to their family and friends, which in turn will give us another multiplier by encouraging other people to come to Malta for the holiday. So I see it, as I said, it's a very, very exciting segment. I'm working hard on it with the authorities because, as you know, we are a lobby group that are all the time, we're all over the place with politicians as well, and we do our business politics with them, by encouraging to make it more encouraging, to take off any bureaucracy that there could be, because bureaucracy always exists when it comes to governments. And the idea is to facilitate more such a conference. And again, I'll say it very clear, this is one out of even the conference marketing mix, one of the highest value added compared to other conferences.
And you said it's a win-win, but there are always challenges. So what do you think are the unique challenges or contributions that Sigma is bringing to the island?
Yes, the challenges are because of our size. I understand, and I really appreciate what they do for Malta. I know, and I'll say it without stuttering, that it's easier for them logistically to do this conference in other countries, because I know the space is bigger, and the challenges could be less. And then Malta has its unique character as well. So our challenges are to facilitate as much as we can and to prepare a lot before they come, and to be able, yes, if needed, to close certain roads purposely for this segment. It's worth the sacrifice that the population could do for those particular 2, 3, 4 days maximum.
So, for example, closing roads would be part of the solution, in your opinion?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm all out. And when I heard certain local people, I'm very much in the media explaining these things, when I heard local people complaining, I told them, listen, you should be very grateful that these people have chosen Malta. What's a bit of a sacrifice, using another road and having certain roads closed, which will lead to the venue when you know that they're giving so much return? The millions are unbelievable. I mean, in 4 days, I do not know of any other events, except when we have some big concert that is organized, etc., that gives so much return economically than a conference like this does in 4 days.
What else could we do? What would be the other solution? So closing the roads, what else could we do to encourage that everything goes well during the conference?
Yes, mostly that all the people that are in logistics to literally have their hands all on board, because being an island economy and having that and dealing daily with smaller setups, so it's not as challenging as it is when you have a big setup like this. So they need to really gear up before they come and know that when Sigma comes, they mean business, and we want to impress them, and we want to make things easy, and there's no this or that. This is not a small event that can be done with a little effort. You can't be complacent. You have to see everything. And I think logistically, all the people involved need to be very, very much aware. And I push this all the time, look after them, prepare yourself, and see that you give them the best.
So we do have the space. It's just a matter of logistics.
Yes.
Looking ahead, how do you see the events industry with Sigma as a significant component playing a role in driving Malta's economic and social goals as outlined in Vision 2050 of the government?
Oh, yes. I was part of the working group of the Vision, and the idea is that our economy has grown so much that now we can be picky and choosy, and we are at that stage. And picky and choosy, this is one segment that is certainly one of the picky and choosy ones, because it creates such good value added without much collateral damage. The word damage is a hard word in a sense, because any activity obviously brings certain movement, and being the island small as it is, that movement is going to be there obviously all the time. But again, well organized. We are learning a lot. We can refine it more. We are preparing for a bigger venue as well. So the routes will be very easily planned. And once we have the template there, this can create further growth where these events can happen more often than they do. It will also encourage other, Sigma were very courageous to do it here, as I said. And in so doing, they are encouraging other type of setups that are as big as they are, that go for the expo industry, and they'll encourage them to come here as well. So we will be also increasing that segment as another important part of our economy for the vision.
Philip Fenech, you're the Deputy President of the Malta Chamber of SMEs. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.